Hello all, welcome to session 115. In this session, I'm going to practically demonstrate handling tables using Selenium Python automation. So let's get started. First of all, what exactly are these tables? Let me show you directly. I'll open this browser and browse a sample application, say omaya.blogspot.com. On this application page, here there is a table, guys. Okay, this is nothing but a table. We can handle this kind of tables using Selenium Python automation. But before I practically demonstrate how to handle such kind of tables using Selenium Python automation, let me explain the HTML basics for creating this table, guys. Okay, we should have this HTML knowledge of the table before I practically demonstrate anything on how to automate this or handle this table using Selenium Python. You should have the knowledge of the HTML basics of creating this table from scratch. For that, I'll open this Notepad++. Here is a Notepad++, guys. So every page, every HTML page will start with HTML and will end with /HTML, right? We'll start with the HTML tag and end with the /HTML. I'll save this file, save as. So on my desktop, so maybe I'll create a folder, guys. Maybe I already created a folder, HTML demo folder. Okay. If there is no folder on your machine, you can create such kind of folder with the name HTML demo or whatever you want. Okay. So in this folder, I'm going to name this file, guys. Okay. So I'll say table HTML basics demo.html. Okay. You have to provide this extension .html. Save as type is all types. Okay. So this is the name of the name of the HTML page, and this is extension of the HTML page. Okay. And this is all types. Now save it. You see, now we are able to see the code properly. So HTML/HTML. Okay. Starting from here, ending here. Inside this HTML, we have to create two things. So body/body is one thing, and before the body there will be head, guys. Okay. Head/head like this. Okay. HTML head and body. In the head tag, I'll provide the title tag. Say is all about HTML table basics demo. Okay. Demo session or something. Okay. Demo page. I'll say demo page /title. Okay. This is the title of the page, guys. Now in the body, I'm going to create the table. Okay. In the body, I'm going to create the table, guys. So how to create the table? Table will start with the table tag and end with /table. Is first thing. Okay. Then we have something known as t head, table head. Okay. /t head and t body, that is table body /t body. So a table will have table head and table body. What is table head? If you see this table, guys, here, this is the head of the table. This section is the body of the table. Okay. This section is the head of the table and this section is the body of the table. Okay. So I segregated this table into two sections, table head and table body. Table head will contain this table headings. So, but this table head is nothing but a row, right? Single row. Okay. Single row, first row. So inside the table head, I'll create something like tr/tr. This is the first row. Okay. First row of the table, which is nothing but the table heading. Okay. Which is having the table headings is the first row. So I'm creating this tr means table row. Inside the table row, I will create th tags. First th is name, right? Name/th. Now next one is again th. Okay, another th. Second th is age. Table heading age/th. Third table heading is place. Name age place/th. Done. Okay. So this is the T head. Now coming to the T body. T body is having how many rows here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 tr tags will be there. Okay. Tr tr/tr. Again tr/tr. So tr/tr, tr/tr, 4 rows. Okay. Now inside the first tr, we have to provide the table data. Okay. Inside this first tr, inside this row, inside the table body, this is the table body, right? In the table body, in the first row, there are 3 datas, right? Kishore 22, Delhi is there. So here I have to say TD. TD means table data. In the table heading, the first row, we have TH tags. TH means table headings. Here, TD means table data, guys. Okay, table data. Under the name, we have Kishore, right? Kishore will come first. Kishore/TD. Similarly, TD 22/TD. Then TD. So in one of the previous sessions, guys, I already covered the HTML basics, but in this session, I am specifically covering the HTML table basics. Okay, how to create the table in HTML. Okay, that's what I'm covering. So if you are very new to HTML, just go and refer to my previous video, guys, in this same series where I explained completely about the HTML basics. Okay, so if you understand those HTML basics, this understanding of this HTML table is very easy. Okay, so we have Delhi here, Delhi, TD. Then the second row of the table body, that is Manish 25 and Pune. Let's write again TD tags, TD Manish/TD, again TD. Then we have 25/TD. Then we have Pune TD, that is Pune/TD. So we have to repeat for the remaining rows, guys. Okay, here also we have the third row and fourth row in the table body. So Praveen 29 Bangalore TD, Praveen TD 29 TD Bangalore. And final row we have to write, that is Deepthi 31 and Mumbai. Deepthi 31 and Mumbai. Okay, done. Fine, guys. We have created the table head, table body. In the table head, we have one row where we have the table headings like name, age, place. And the table body, we have 4 rows. Okay, we have the individual data. Okay, for each and every row. Fine. This is where the table is starting. This is where the table is ending. And this table is inside the body tags. Okay, which is in parallel with the head tag. And this both head and body tags are under the HTML and /HTML. Okay, so this is the entire HTML code, guys, for the table. Let's save it once. Okay, let's save this. So it got saved, guys. Now I'll go to the location where I saved. I'll go to the location where I saved this particular HTML file. You see, this is the one, guys. Okay, it got saved like this. I'll open this. You see, the table got displayed, but there is something missing, guys. In this table, there is something missing. That is, when you compare this table with this table, the headings are same. Okay, the headings we got, the table data we got, but there is no border here, right? For this particular table, there is no border. So what I will do is, I'll say here, if I inspect here, you'll get that, guys, border is equal to 1, something will be there. Yeah, border is equal to 1. Okay, I have to give that. So here I'll go to the Notepad++ where I am creating this table, and in the table tag, I'll say border is equal to 1. That's it, nothing much. Okay, just give border is equal to 1. Now save this and go here and refresh this and see whether you're getting a border or not. You see, you got the table border. So this is how, guys, we can use HTML for creating the table. So having that knowledge of HTML basics for creating the table is compulsory, guys, for understanding how to use Selenium Python automation for handling the tables. Okay. Once we got the basics of how to create the table using HTML, now let's go with the remaining things. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate a lot of stuff for you. So for that, guys, I'll open this PyCharm IDE. Here we have the Python file having some sample Selenium automation code already written for opening the Chrome browser, for maximizing the browser window, and for opening the application URL in the browser, something like this. Once the application is opened, URL is opened in the browser like this, then I want to do some operations on this table, okay, step by step. What is that thing? We're going to use XPath locators, guys. In one of the previous sessions, I already covered the XPath locators. If you don't know how to create the XPath locators on your own, then just refer the previous sessions, guys, okay? Then refer the previous sessions where I explained the XPath locators in detail. So by assuming that you know the HTML basics of the table and also you know the XPath locators, okay, how to manually create the XPath locators on your own, that I have explained in the previous session. So assuming that you know both the things, then we can start this, okay? Let me practically demonstrate each and everything for you. First thing is finding the number of rows in a table, okay? How to find the number of rows in a table. So for example, this is a table, guys. I want to find the number of rows, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 rows are there, right? So inspect this. So let's see the HTML code of this particular table, guys. When I inspect the table, I'll get the HTML code of the table here. So this is where the table is starting. As you can see, this is the table. Okay, when I hover the mouse here, you see entire table is getting highlighted. It has some ID, guys. Okay, I'll go to the selector sub and I'll remove this. I'll turn off this auto generation. Rather, I'm going to use this for manual creation, guys. I'm going to use selector sub for manual creation of the XPath expression for locating this table and other stuff. Okay. Now we have to find the number of rows in this particular table. But before that, I want to locate this table, guys. Okay. How to locate the table? So here, as you can see, this is HTML code of the table. So which is starting with the table tag. So I'll say double slash table as per HTML syntax. I'll say double slash table, and in the square brackets, I will say at the rate ID is equal to table one. Okay, table one like this, and press enter. You see the table got highlighted here. Okay, the table got highlighted here, right? The entire table got highlighted here. Now, so once the table got located, under the table, under the t head and t body tags, under the t head and t body tags, we have the tr tags, right? Under t head we have tr tag, under t body we have the 4 tr tag. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll say something like this: double slash tr. That's it. Press enter. You see how many rows got highlighted here? Double slash table at the rate id is equal to table 1 slash double slash tr. Okay, there are five elements matching, that is 5 rows got located. Okay, 5 rows. So what I will do here is I'll copy this XPath expression which is able to locate the 5 rows. So here I'll say driver dot find elements. Okay, I have to select elements, guys, here, not elements by XPath. Let's see where it is. Driver dot find elements by. Okay, it's not element by, it's elements by. Okay, here provide the XPath expression which is able to locate all the 5 rows. Okay, this is a XPath expression, guys, for locating all the table rows, whether that table row is in the head or table row in the table body, whatever, doesn't matter. So using this single XPath expression, we can locate all the rows. Fine, we can store that into a kind of say rows. Okay, table rows, table underscore rows like this. Okay, table underscore rows is equal to kind of. So I would like to print the number of rows that are there in the table. How to print, guys? How to print the number of rows in this particular table? I will say print of len of table rows. Okay, so this is nothing but a set. What we call that? This is nothing but the list, guys. Okay, list of rows. This is nothing but the list of rows. Okay, so here if I say table underscore rows, okay, so this particular thing is nothing but a list, guys. We already know what is list in Python, right? In Python we have the concept known as list under collections, right? This particular XPath is returning multiple elements. Each and every element is a row, table row. Okay, so total 5 rows it is returning, guys. That 5 rows are storing here. Okay, that 5 rows, tomorrow if this particular table gets updated with one more row, then it will become 6 rows like that. Okay, so whatever the rows that are there in the table are getting stored into this table rows. Okay, so for the list, if you want to find how many elements are stored in this particular list, you have to use a command known as len command. Okay, inside the len command I'm providing table rows. It will print the number of rows that are there in the table. Okay, so if I'll simply say driver dot close after this and run this code, it should print 5, guys. Okay, the total number of rows should be printed as 5 in the output. Let's wait here. It will open the browser, open the application URL in the browser, And after counting the number of rows and printing, you see how many rows got printed here? 5. We can actually make it more better like this. I'll say the number of rows in the table are comma like this. Okay, it will print 5. Now it will be more better. We'll get a more proper output in the output console. You see the number of rows in the table are 5 like this. Okay, fine. So one of the activities is done, guys. Okay, now let me go to the next one. Next activity, finding the number of columns in a table. Okay, finding the number of columns. So now we need to create an XPath which can find the number of columns in the table. Okay, so till table it's fine. So when you this is a table, guys. This is a table. So I'll say /table at the rate ID is equal to table 1. Now under that I need to find the number of columns. 1, 2, 3 columns. So what I will do here is I will say is /th. Okay, 1, 2, 3 /th. How many table headings are there? 3 table headings. The number of columns in the table is nothing but the number of table headings, right? So name, age, and place. If I say /th here, under this table, we have the 3 table headings. Those are nothing but the individual columns. Okay. If I press enter here, you see total number of columns are 3. 3 elements matching. 3 elements matching. Okay. This particular XPath expression is matching the 3 columns. 3 columns. Okay. Fine. Copy this. There are 3 columns. You can find out the number of columns like this, guys. 3 table headings are getting located here. Okay, so fine. So what we'll do here is we'll write the code here. I'll say before closing the browser, I'll say table underscore columns is equal to, okay, table columns is equal to driver dot find underscore elements by XPath. Okay, find elements by XPath, provide the XPath expression which is locating the 3 table headings, which will give the count of the columns, guys. Anyhow, okay, so here I'll print out something like print the number of columns in the table are comma len of table columns. That's it. Okay, now let me run this code. So the number of rows in the table are 5 will be printed. The number of columns in the table are 3 will be printed now. You see the number of rows in the table are 5. The number of columns in the table are 3 got printed. Fine. Cool. Now next thing is printing the first column values. Printing first column values. What is the first column value, guys? What is the first value? Let me go here again to the application. So here first column is this one. Okay, column values are name, Kishore, Manish, Praveen, Deepti. Okay, so starting from name. So here I will remove this, guys, so that it will be clear for you. So here first column is this one, guys. Okay, not name, then Kishore, Manish, Praveen, Deepti. Okay, this is the first column. This part is the first column. I want to print all the values in the first column starting from name to Deepti. Okay, name, Kishore, Manish, Praveen, Deepti. I want to print. That is the output that is needed. So for that, I'll inspect this table again. Okay, here I'll write in the selector sub /table at the rate ID is equal to table 1. Okay, table with the ID is equal to table 1 slash. So how to do that? How to get the first value? So here we have to do something here, guys. So table head, table body doesn't matter. Okay. So we have to set tr /tr. So it will go up to all the table rows. All the table rows came here now. Under the tr, we have to get the first one, right? It can be either th or td, doesn't matter. Okay. Here under this first tr, this is the first th. Under this first tr, this is the first td. Under this first TR, this is the first TD. We have to get the first TDs. So for that, I will say slash star of 1. Enter. What's happened, guys? What's happened? Can you see here? I was able to get the first column. Complete first column got highlighted here using this XPath expression. Okay. So double slash table at the rate ID is called table 1. Double slash TR under that first element. It can be either TH or TH or TD. It doesn't matter. If I give star here, that means star means asterisk symbol means either TH or TD, any tag. Copy this. And we need to print all these values, guys. Okay. It's not about just printing the count or something. Now we need to get the values, guys. Okay. From these particular things, we have to get the values. Okay. Let's see how we can do that. I'll write the automation code here. So here I'll say first column values is equal to driver dot find elements by XPath. Again, provide the XPath which is locating all the first column values. That's it. Now after that, I'll say I'll create a for loop, guys. Okay, I'll write a for loop for value in first column values. Okay, so all the values it will be iterating. I'll say print of this particular value dot. Okay, print the value of value dot text. I have to say. Okay, so what's happening here? This particular XPath is locating all the first column values, but it's in fact not locating this particular name, guys. It's not locating the name. It's locating this complete th tag. This th, this td. Okay, this particular td as elements it's locating. But we have to print out the values that are there inside these elements. Okay. So inside this th tag, what is the value? Name. How to get this name out of this th tags? We have to use the command known as text. I already explained how to use a text command in one of the previous sessions. Okay, I'm using the text here to get the value of this. Okay, to retrieve the value that is there between the tags of this th. Okay, this particular is locating the entire th tag, td tags and all, but we want to have only get the or retrieve the values that are there between the tags. So that's why I have to use the text command here. So here before I print these values, I'll write a normal print statement saying the below are the first column values. Okay, below are the first column values in the table. Okay, the below are the first column values in the table, like this I'll say, and run this code. It should work. Should print all the first column values. Okay, so let's wait. You see, the browser got closed, and here the number of rows in the table are 5, the number of columns in the table are 3, and the below are the first column values in the table. What are they? Name, Kishore, Manish, Praveen, Dipti. Correct or not? Name, Kishore, Manish, Praveen, Dipti. Yes, we got the proper result. Now printing the second column values. It's very easy, guys. Now, okay, printing the second column values is very easy. Now go here. This is XPath for print getting the first column values. In order to get the second column values, you see under this tr, this th is the second position, first position, second position. So just give 2 here in this XPath. Just give 2 here and press enter. You see all the second column values. Copy this XPath. Write down the same type of code here. Okay, so here I'll say second column values is equal to driver dot find elements by XPath. Provide the XPath which will locate all the second column values. Now here copy paste this code, guys. Okay, this is a repeated code. The below are the second column values in the table, and here I'll say for value in second column values print value dot text. Okay, let's see what will happen now. It should print all the second column values. Okay, run this. So easy, guys. Okay, the second column values printing is so easy. We just have to update the number from 1 to 2. That's it. You see the second column values. The below are the second column values in the table, that is age 22, 25, 29, 31. Age 22, 25, 29, 31. Okay, done. What about the third one? Now printing the third column value. It's very easy now. Simply go here and replace this number 2 with 3. right? Press enter. That's it. You got the third column. So go to the code here, copy paste. Okay, I'm just copy pasting just to save the time, guys. I'll replace, sorry, paste it here. I'll replace the second with third column values, and here number 2 with 3. Here 1, 2, 3. Printing the or the below or the third column values. Okay, below or the third column values in the table. Value in third column values. Value dot text. Okay, run this code. Third column values will be printed. That is location will be printed. You see, number of rows, number of column, the below or the first column values, below or the second column values, below or the third column values in the table. That is place Delhi, Pune, Bangalore, and Mumbai. Fine. What next? Printing the table headings. Now we have to print only the table headings. It's very easy again. So what we have to do here is, first of all, let's locate all the table headings. How to locate all the table headings? Let's locate the table first. Here I'll say / table at the rate ID is equal to table 1, then / your table headings are here th. Press enter. You see 3 table headings. Copy this, go here and write down the code here. Table underscore headings is equal to driver dot find elements by XPath, find elements by XPath, provide the XPath here, paste it, print the below are the table headings. Okay, table headings. Now for loop for heading in table underscore headings, print heading dot text. That's it, same. Okay. So for each and every table heading that got located here, this is the text between the tags. So I have to use text command here, which will retrieve the text between the tags and print it here. Fine. So now let's run this code. All the table headings should be printed in the output console now with this run. Okay, it got executed, and as you can see, the below are the table headings: name, age, and place. Right or wrong? Yes, name, age, and place got printed. Fine. Next challenge: printing all the table data. Printing all the table data. So here, table data is this one. Okay, all this data is the table data. So how to print? It's very simple again, guys. Inspect this table. So this is HTML code of the table, guys. Okay, this is HTML code of the table. So by looking at this HTML code, I will write the text path like this: /table at the rate ID is equal to table 1. Okay, ID is equal to table 1. And under the table, where can we get all this table data here? So all this table data is under the TD tags. It's not under the TH tags. It's all under the TD tags. You see, Kishore 22 Delhi, Manish 25 Pune. TD tags. All TD tags are there. Okay. Praveen 29 Bangalore, Deepthi 31 Mumbai. Okay. All the TD tags. So I have to say /TD and press enter. You see, 12 elements matching. So 12 sets of data. I mean 4 sets of data, which are nothing but 12 individual data are there. Kishore 22 Delhi is 3, Manish 25 Pune is 6, Praveen 29 Bangalore is 9, and Deepthi 31 Mumbai is 12. Total 12. Copy this, go to the automation code here, write down table data is equal to driver dot find elements by XPath, provide the XPath here, and say print of the below are the table data. Okay, below are the table data for data in table data. Okay, for data in this particular table data, I'm printing data dot text. Fine, data dot text. Fine, let's see. 12 rows will be 12 data will be printed one after another one, guys, here in this example, the output. Okay, as you can see here, the below are the table data. That is Kishore 22 Delhi, Manish 25 Pune, Praveen 29 Bangalore, Deepthi 39 31 and Mumbai. Okay, got printed. Fine, guys, this is done. Next thing, what is the next one? Next challenge is printing the cell at column 3 and row 4. Okay, printing the cell which is at the column 3 and row 4. So here column 3 means column 3 place. Row 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4. That is Bangalore. I want to print Bangalore. Okay. Third column and fourth row. How to get that done? So again, same thing, inspect this table, double slash table at the rate id is equal to table one double slash. Now we have to get the which column? Third column, fourth row. So third column, first of all, let's locate the third column direct, complete third column, guys. Okay, complete third column we have to locate. How to locate the third column here? Here I'll say third column. You have to locate this entire third column. So everything is under the TR only. Okay, TR. So column, don't worry about column for now. Worry about the row. Okay, which row? Fourth row. TR of 4. Enter. Okay, this is coming like this because there's a problem here. Okay, so the problem here is so table heading. Okay, understood what I have to do. So here I will say double slash table at the rate id is equal to, here I will say third column and fourth row, right? Third column we have to get, third column and tr double slash. First of all, I'll get the third column, guys. Let's see what will happen. After that, I'll change this number. Okay. So if I take this like this, let's see what will happen. Let me try, guys, once. This is fourth row. Enter. You see, only fourth row got located. Okay. We have to provide the circular brackets here. So at the complete table level, it's locating now. 4. But this is not we want. What we want. Okay. We want Bangalore here. Under this table row, which got located, under this table row we have the td tags. Okay, so double slash td. If I say 3 table datas are getting located, I want the Bangalore one, which is at the third column. Okay, td3. You see, we are able to locate third column, fourth row. Like this we have tried the XPath, guys. If you have gone through the previous session, guys, where I explained completely about how to build your own XPath and all on your own, you'll understand how to create such kind of XPath expressions. Okay, copy this. What is this? Here only one element is matching, right? So I'll write something like this. Cell it third column fourth row is equal to driver dot find element by XPath. Here not elements, it's element by XPath. Okay, single element. Now here I'll print that thing, guys. Okay, the below is a cell value that is there at third column and fourth row in the table, and here I'll say print of cell underscore dot text. Okay, I have to use this command text, guys, which will get the value. Okay, so it look this particular thing is locating this one, and I have to get the text that is there between the tags. So I have to say dot text. Fine. So if I run this, I should get that Bangalore printed here. Run this. You see, Bangalore got printed already, as you can see. The below is the cell value that is there at the third column and fourth row in the table. Okay. Now the next one, next challenge, the last and final challenge regarding this particular table. Okay, where we have to know, already we should have some basic knowledge of the HTML, basic knowledge of table, creating table and all. And along with that, you should have some practical knowledge on how to write or create your XPath expressions on your own. Okay. Okay. Fine. Printing entire table using for loop range. Okay, I'll tell you what this is. So I want to print this table as it is in the output, guys. Okay, I want to print this particular table as it is in the output, like name, age, place, Kishore 22 Delhi, Manish 25 Pune, Praveen 29 Bangalore, Deepthi 31 Mumbai. As it is, I want to print in the output. What I have to do for that? So I'll be using two for loops. Okay, for loops. So maybe I'll take another file, guys. This one, okay, this one I'll share you these notes. Okay, I'll share you these notes. So find so far notes here. Okay, view. Okay, view code here. Now this one I'll take it as a separate notes. Okay, separate view code here for this particular thing. I'll attach the links. Okay, I'll provide the links later. At the end of the session, I'll provide this whatever the code I have written so far. I'll attach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a separate Python file for this. Right click new for explaining this how to print the entire table using for loop. Right, freshly I'm taking a new class, new Python file I'm creating. So I'll say that is printing entire table. Right, printing entire table. Okay, this one will take a lot of time, guys. Okay, you have to be very patient here. So this one you have to understand clearly what I'm explaining. First I have to go to this application page. So for that I'll be writing the code here. In order to go to this application page, I'll be writing the code, that is WebDriver dot, or else I'll copy paste, guys. So I don't want to waste your time. So where is that? Okay, handling tables. I'll go to this. I'll copy this basic code till here. I'll copy paste. I don't want to write again and again. So this is a sample code which will open the Chrome browser, maximize the browser window, and will take you to this application URL page. After that, I want to print this entire table as it is. So for that, what I have to do? So here, in order to print the entire table, we have to follow a logic, guys. Okay. So first we have to print. Then first we have to print this row. Then this one, this one, this one, this one. Right. So I'll write a for loop. How many columns are there? 3 columns. Right. How many rows are there? 5 rows are there. So first I'll write the logic for the rows better. For how many rows are there, guys? Rows is equal to, we can get the count of the rows also, right? We can get the count of the rows. How to get the count of the number of rows in this particular table? The same XPath we have created last time. So here I'll inspect this table. So double slash table at the rate ID is equal to table 1. ID is equal to table 1. 1. Enter. You see that the entire table is getting highlighted here. I want to find the number of rows. For that, so I'll be counting the TRs. Okay, inside this table tag, how many TRs are there? I'll be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how to do that? Double slash TR I have to say. Okay. So total 5 rows. Copy this. Rows is equal to, here I'll say, uh, okay. I'll first of all say table rows is equal to driver dot find elements by XPath, provide the XPath, which will return you 5 rows, all the rows of the table. Now here I'll say rows is equal to, okay, rows is equal to, or row count is equal to row count. Row count is equal to, how many rows are there? Table, we have to say len of table underscore rows. Okay, this will give you the number of rows. Similarly, I need to get the number of columns. How to get the number of columns? Number of columns is equal to number of headings, right? 3 headings are there. So here if I change it to TR to TH, you see 3 columns are there. So three headings are there. That means 3 columns. Copy this. Same thing. Table headings. Okay, so driver dot find elements by XPath, and here's I'll say column count. Column underscore count is equal to len of table headings. Okay, these are the number of columns. Done. We got the number of rows. We got the number of columns. Row count is number of rows. Column count is number of columns. For R in, okay, for R in row count, range of row count, this many times the for loop should iterate. Okay, for R in row count here, if I give the range number of rows as 5, right, this will iterate 5 times, right? Will iterate 5 times. Then for R in range of row count, what I have to do? So for each and every row, that is iterated here, we have to go through each and every column. So how many columns we have to go through? 3 columns. So again, one more for loop I'll create here. Under this for loop, I'll say for C in, for column in, range of column count. Okay. For R in range of row count, for C in range of column count. Okay. So what we have to do? Here, we have to build an XPath. Okay. We have to build an XPath in such a way that it will take this R and C to go to that particular cell value and print it. So how to do that? For that, I'll create a normal XPath, guys. I'll say print, or I will say XPath is equal to, or we'll write some XPath, guys. Somewhere here we have to write an XPath. Cell XPath is equal to, so double quotes I'm writing, double slash table. If I write this here, let's say double slash table at the rate ID is equal to table 1 double slash tr, provide this in the circular brackets like this. If I give 1, guys, what will happen? It will locate the first row. Okay, if I give 2 here, it will locate the second row. 3 here, third row. 4, fourth row. 5, fifth row, like this. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, I'm just giving 1 for now, first row. In that, if I have to get the first column, first row, first column, so then I have to say double slash star of 1, I will say. You see, first row here, this one is row, this one is column. First row, first column, name. If I say first row, second column, first row, second column, first row, second column, age. If I give first row, third column, okay, like this. So if I want to find something like in the fourth row, third column, Bangalore, you see, let's say fourth row, first column, Praveen, fourth row, first column. So this XPath is, we have to make this XPath dynamic, guys. Okay, we should change these numbers kind of thing during the runtime. So this is a sample XPath, guys. This is sample XPath. Here this is a row number and this is a column number. Okay, so here we have to put R, here we have to put C. This is row, this is column. So here this is R, this is column, right? Okay, so here, guys, what happens here is we have to say for R in range of, if I give 5 here, what will be printed? Let me show you one thing. If I say for R in range of 5, if I say, okay, what will be printed in the output, guys? It will print from 0 to 4, right? If I say for R in range of 5 and print R, if I say something like that, okay, if I write a logic like this, for example, if R in range of, if I give something like 5 here, and if I say print R, what will be printed in the output, guys? It will print the values from 0 to 4. 5 values will be printed, but first value is 0, guys. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4. But here 0 concept is not there. For first row we are saying 1 2 3 4 like that. Okay, rows are like 1 2 3 4 5 and columns are like 1 2 3. So there is no concept of 0. So what I'm going to do here, I will say 1 comma. Okay, for R in range of 1 comma 6, I have to say. Okay, so if you want to get 1 to 5, you have to say 6 here. So by going through that logic, guys, here we have to change something. I'll say starting with the number 1, row number 1, until row count plus 1 we have to give. Then only it will work, guys. Otherwise it will not work. Okay, if you have the proper knowledge of the for loop in Python, you'll understand whatever I'm talking about. If you are not clear, just go back to the previous sessions, guys, where I explained about for loop. Okay, for loop with range and all those things I explained, where I clearly explained how to use a range. Okay, so this one is, if I give for R in range of 1 comma row count will come as 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, so it will print 1 to 5, guys. Okay, R will be given 1 to 5. Similarly here, also same thing, 1 comma column count plus 1 you have to give. Okay, one value extra you have to give. Fine. Now let's modify this. So how to modify that? So I'll say cell is equal to cell XPath. I already gave cell XPath here. I'll say cell is equal to cell is equal to this one. I will copy this here. Cell XPath is equal to here. I will say whatever that is not changing, I'll copy till here static, right? Nothing is changed. Copy this and put this here. Now this one here R is in integer, so we have to convert that. I'll say plus str of here. This 4 is nothing but row, right? So I have to say str of R. I will say okay. I'm appending this into this XPath plus again double quotes again provide the static thing from here to here is will not change. Copy this and paste it here and now say plus you have to append this number 1 here, that is str of this is nothing but a column, this C. Okay, I'm converting this column number into the string and appending with the XPath. Now plus what is the remaining thing? Remaining thing is this part, right? This only this part. Okay, copy this, double quotes, provide that. That's it. So this is XPath, guys. Okay, this is XPath. So is it good or anything going wrong here? Cell XPath is equal to, okay, so in between that we have this okay, so from here to here, that's fine. After that we are appending here, fine. From here to here we are appending again. Yes, I'm just confirming this. If any mistakes are there, I don't think there is no mistake here. And I'm appending this part. Yeah, this is fine. This is a select path. We made it dynamic, guys. This is not required anymore. This for reference only I created there. Select path is equal to like this. Okay. For every iteration, it is iterating, right? This value will be, okay. This X path will be there. Okay. For the first iteration, R is 1, and and then it will go to the inner for loop where C is 1, 1, 1. If I say 1, 1, if I give 1, 1 here, what will be printed? First row, first column, that is name. It will retrieve, cell XPath will have a name. After that, after this, C will become 2. So 1, 2. So row is 1 and column is 2. You see age will like that. Okay. Then inner for loop will be iterated where C will become 1 to 3. 3. Okay. Here 3. When 3 comes here, place will come. Okay. After that, R will become 2. 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3. 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, like that. Okay, every complete table will be printed, guys, here. Okay, so in order to print here, I'll say print of cell underscore XPath. I have to print the value, right? The value there that is there between the tags I have to print. I should not be printing the element. I should be printing the value. So for that, I will be using dot text. I will say, okay, dot text. Fine. Then if I print as it is, guys, it will print in not in a table format. Okay, this will not print, this particular logic will not print the values in the table format, rather one by one it will print. I'll show you what will happen here. After this, if I say driver dot close here, you will understand. Based on the output, you'll understand, guys, what will be printed. So run this, complete table values will be printed, but in a sequential order it will be printed, not in the tabular format. So it's not closing, there is a mistake somewhere. Let's okay, str object okay, cell underscore XPath. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I got it. So I have to write this, right? I forgot to write this. Driver dot find cell is equal to, I have to say cell is equal to driver dot find element by XPath of this XPath. Whatever the XPath we have to build, we have to provide here. Okay, now say cell dot text. This will work this time. Okay, this is what this extra line we have to write, guys. Okay, this is XPath. Using this XPath, we have to retrieve the cell element, right? From that cell element, we have to retrieve the text. Okay, this line I forgot. Let's run this code again. This time it should work. No, still it's not working, guys. There's something going wrong again. What's going wrong here? Driver dot find. Yeah, I said elements, guys. Okay, let me run again. Let's see what will happen this time. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, small mistakes will cause us to errors, guys. Fine. Okay, so here you see total table got printed, but not in the tabular format. Name, age, place, Kishore 22 Delhi, Manish 25 Pune, Praveen 29 Bangalore, Deepthi 31 Mumbai. But I have to print in a tabular format like this in the same way that is shown here. Then how to get it printed? For that guys, I'll do one thing. I'll write some print statements here. Okay, so when I'm printing this, I don't want to go to the next line. Okay, after printing the cell value, I don't want to go to the next line. So we have something right, comma, end is equal to, I'll give some space here. Okay, like this. Okay, some space I'll give between the tables. And after this for loop, here I'll say print of, that's it, nothing. Okay, print of nothing, it will go to the next line. Now by adding these two print statements, you see you'll get a tabular format, guys. Run this. If you know the basics of the print statements, you'll understand what I have written there. It's taking time. Okay, you see, we got in the tabular format now. Name, age, place, Kishore 22 Delhi, Manish 25 Pune, Praveen 29 Bangalore. If you want more spaces in between, just increase the space here like this. Okay, now run this again. You'll get more spaces. You see, name is Kishore Manish Praveen Deepthi, age is 22, 25, 29, 31, place is Delhi, Pune, Bangalore, Mumbai. This is a tabular format. Okay, so this is how, guys, we have to print the entire table using for loop. Okay, so don't worry, guys. I'll provide this code in the notes if you want to practice. This requires some practice from your side. I'll just update this notes with the code. Okay, from here you can get the code. I'll link the code here after this session. Fine. So from this notes, you'll get all the code, but try to practice, guys. Whatever I explained, if you don't practice, you'll not understand. So I recommend everyone to practice it, okay, rather than simply watching the video. Also practice from your side to understand whatever I have explained in this particular session, okay. So that's it, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.